What is up, soldiers? Alright, so this video right here is gonna be I guess you can call it a reaction video to a very particular YouTube video that I found in my recommended. Why I found this in my recommended, I do not know. And the reason why I'm showing my face when I do these types of videos is because I want you guys to see my genuine reaction. I want you guys to see how I'm actually reacting, you know, to the video, to what I'm saying, rather than just, you know, removing the camera and just you guys hearing my voice. On top of that, I do want to say that I want you guys to understand and, you know, keep in mind that I do not like to be fake, or I like to be as genuine as possible. I like to be as true to you guys as I can be, and above all, I want to be myself in camera, in stream, in videos, whatever. So, you know, I'm not afraid to call people out. I'm not afraid to comment. I'm not afraid to put my opinion, you know, where I can put it. Mainly because, you know, hey, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and I have mine. So if you guys watch my content, you guys know that I really don't care. You know, when it comes to haters, when it comes to people like that, especially when it comes to people that think that this game is dying. And so that's what this video is about. So this guy Ged, he's a YouTuber. He released this video, I guess, a week ago. He's got 5.6 million views on it, and it's called "Why Fortnite is Dying," or, you know, Fortnite is finally dying, and then he says why it's dying. First of all, I want to point out that this video is nothing, or the thumbnail is nothing but clickbait. The title is nothing but clickbait because he does not state any facts. Absolutely no facts. Zero facts on why the game is dying. All he's doing is he's just pretty much explaining why he thinks the game is bad, you know. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the video, and then I'm gonna, you know, pause for commenting and pretty much, you know, have my own take on what he's saying. No disrespect to Ged, you know, he's been grinding his YouTube channel, and I appreciate that. As you know, as you guys know, I really enjoy, you know, watching YouTubers that, you know, grind, because that's how you get bigger. But like I said, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, and I want to explain to you guys why I don't agree with it. So without further ado, let's just hop right in, man, and let's just play the video, man. Let's do it.
Don't like it when games fail, because it's one less game that I can enjoy. But when you have a company that does everything in their power to appeal and design game mechanics around the most casual players in existence, which, by the way, are the same types of players that will enjoy any environment that you put them in, as long as they have their friends and don't care about game mechanics.
Alright, so here he's saying that Epic is catering to people, the casual player, so to speak. So basically everybody that's not a professional player, everybody that does not take this game serious, everybody that is not a streamer, everybody that doesn't play tournaments every damn day, or game battles, or UMGs, or whatever. So essentially, like 95% of its fan base, essentially. That obviously it's not real statistics, but, you know, that's you know, we're putting a number out there that kind of maybe sort of is, you know, about right. So he's saying that Epic is catering to these guys, and he doesn't like that Epic is catering to these guys. Keep in mind, guys, Epic is a company trying to make money. So from a business perspective, how do you make money? Well, you make money by catering to everybody, to most people that want to play this game. And most people that want to play this game is people that are casual players, people that just grab a PlayStation, and people that start playing the game. You know, 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds, young kids, man. People that have access to a console that want to play the game can play the game. Not everybody's good, you know, not everybody's bad. But how do you make money? Well, Epic is doing it right, you know, in my opinion. But anyways, and so he's saying also that casual players don't care about game mechanics, because all they care about is playing with their friends. Let me ask you this, guys. I know a lot of you guys that watch me don't really take this game as serious as I do, but let me tell you this. When you're playing with friends, so he's saying that all that you guys care about is playing with friends. When you guys are playing with friends, you guys are playing to win, I am assuming. Of course you guys want to have fun. Of course you guys are... Whoop. Sorry, guys. That was a flash flood warning. You guys are playing with your friends, and of course, I'm pretty sure you guys have fun talking in party chat, and stuff like that. But I am pretty sure that you guys try to win. And when you guys don't win, I'm pretty sure you guys get frustrated. So, of course, guys, of course, that it's not only about, you know, having a lobby to play with friends. It's also about the mechanics, man. It's also about how when you try to shoot, sometimes you don't get the shot, or when you're trying to build, sometimes you get outbuilded. It's all about the mechanics, man. Any game, you don't just grab a game and play it, oh, because I'm gonna be with friends in a lobby. No, you play it because you genuinely want to win, or you play it because the game has good graphics, good mechanics, you know, you like aspects of the game, not just because you have a friend and you can be in a lobby with him and you can do whatever you want. No, that's not why you play a game. But anyways, let's continue.
That is my overhanging point, but I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to explain what I mean when I say that. I've been preaching this from day one, and people are just now starting to catch on. So let's back up. Let's go to the beginning of my Fortnite experience. I started playing Fortnite 4 to 5 days after it came out, way before it blew up. Ever since my first play session, I've been very critical of this game, saying things that I still agree with to this day. Like, for example, why is Bloom still in the game 9 months after release, when it should have been hotfixed out of the game week 1?
So to start this list off, the biggest problem in Fortnite, in my personal opinion, is Bloom. I do not like the idea that it doesn't matter how good you are at aiming. It doesn't matter how good you are at tracking. Your aim is determined by a random number generator. You might hit the shot, you might miss the shot. It's completely determined by something completely out of your control.
From a gameplay perspective, this is a god-awful mechanic and should not belong in any shooter that you compete with other players.
Okay, so this guy's saying that Bloom, RNG, random number generator, should not exist in the game, and that it is the worst mechanic in a shooting game. Alright, so what I have come to realize, guys, is that people that are very critical of Weapon Bloom are people, for the most part, that have a history of playing games that don't have Bloom. So games that pretty much rely on 100% accuracy, such as Call of Duty and, you know, other first-person shooters, for the most part, that, you know, do that. Call of Duty, the Call of Duty franchise doesn't even have bullet drops on their snipers. You know, Battlefield introduced that in consoles, and, you know, I'm pretty sure there's other games that have done it. But for the most part, Call of Duty stays consistent. You know, wherever you shoot is where you wherever you shoot, wherever you aim and press R2 or whatever your trigger is, that's where the bullet goes. And I completely understand that. And, you know, but for the most part, like I said, people that are critical about RNG are the ones that, you know, for the most part, play Call of Duty or play any first-person shooter that does not rely on Bloom. Let me ask you this. If you want a game to be as realistic as possible, if you want a game to have, you know, the scope of, you know, like Fortnite's map is huge. So, like, your character in the map is small compared to the entire thing, right? Whereas small maps, like in Call of Duty, you know, the map is relatively small compared to, you know, a Fortnite map or compared to any map. In order for a game to be successful, in my opinion, is to make it realistic. And how do you make it realistic? Well, you add things like Weapon Bloom. In real life, this is why I am okay with Weapon Bloom, because in order to replicate real life scenarios, man, you have to, you know, add a mechanic that somehow is not 100% accurate. Because why? Okay, well, in real life applications, if you go to a shooting range, even though you're shooting, even though you're aiming and you swear that you're aiming at the right place, sometimes you're not going to get that shot out. If you grab a gun, guys, if you guys grab a real gun and you go out shooting, I guarantee that you're not going to hit 100% of your shots. And no matter, you know, no matter how good you think your aim is, you're not going to get 100% of your shots. And I think that's what Epic is trying to do, man. They're trying to make the game as realistic as possible in a cartoon environment. Obviously, the graphics aren't realistic. The game mechanics aren't realistic. You know, the fact that you can build with blueprints in your hand is not realistic. But they are trying to add realistic elements in the game. That is why I support RNG. I have nothing against RNG. Obviously, it is annoying. But when the game is when you have a consistency in RNG, then I am all for it. What do I mean? What do I mean by consistency? By consistency, I mean that sometimes you do laser people, sometimes you don't. But sometimes you get lasered and sometimes you don't get lasered. It's all throughout the whole, you know, throughout all players, throughout all 99 players in the lobby that are with you. You may or may not, you know, they may or may not have a laser with them, and some of them may have a laser, some of them may not. But the fact of the matter is that you have to rely on RNG, essentially, on Bloom, right? And so that to me is not a problem, because I like the fact that Epic is trying to, you know, make it to where, you know, as realistic as possible, some aspects. Like I said, most of the aspects of the game aren't realistic, but they're trying to add some sort of realism to the game, man. And like I said, even if you were to play paintball, I'm guarantee you're not going to hit all the shots that you know that you're aiming at, and they're not going to go where you want them to go. And that right there is Epic trying to, you know, express some realism in their gun mechanics, and I am for that. I have nothing against that. And keep in mind, I did play Call of Duty before, but not once have I ever complained about RNG. And if I do, and I mean, if I ever have complain about it, it's just because I've never played a game that you know that revolved around RNG. I'd never played a game that was not 100% accuracy. I mean, I'm used to first-person shooters. I've been a Call of Duty player pretty much since Modern Warfare 2. So, you know, outside of that, you know, this is the first game I've actually played that introduced RNG. So, you know, it was new to me. But even if it was even when it was new to me, I wasn't too critical about it. Let's just say that. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to say.
That is borderline objective. Every single person watching this video right now should agree with that statement. It is a bad...
Just want to say that something that is objective, is true, is facts. It's not, obviously, it's not subjective. And the fact that this guy said, if you're watching this video, you should agree with that. The fact that you add the should, that's not objective. So I'm just pointing it out there.
Gameplay mechanic to have luck be more important when it comes to winning a gunfight than skill. But for some reason, I don't think I will ever understand. Epic Games and the Fortnite community seem to think that this is okay. I go on the forums, there's not a soul talking about Bloom. Matter of fact,
nobody's talking about Bloom because everybody loves this game. You know, for the most part, everybody that plays the game is not complaining, and if they do, they get over it. You know what I mean? Not like he mentions this game, you know, 9 months into the game, Weapon Bloom is still here. Yet 9 months into the game, this guy is still complaining. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Like, must you complain about Weapon Bloom, man? Come on.
All I see is people begging for some of the most pointless stuff, like event exclusive skins or refunds. I remember that was going on for a long time. How about perfecting the core gameplay first before we worry about refunding something that you intentionally clicked on but regretted it?
That's probably one of the only things I agree with in this video, you know, about what he's saying. I do agree that Epic should fix what is broken before introducing new stuff, before, you know, moving on with Season 5, before, you know, introducing new skins. You know, they should fix what's going on. One of the big glitches in the game is the fact that people go through your builds, even, like, if half their head is showing on top of your build, their whole body is just able to teleport through your build. And that's something that should be fixed, and it's not, you know. So a lot of things are broken. So the places where I complain is the fact that Epic is not fixing what is broken. For example, the double pump. I don't like the double pump. I'm not against people that use it. You know, it's in the game, and if it's in the game, you gotta use it. You know, you can't just, and especially if you're competitive, you can't lose the competitor edge. But, you know, the fact that Epic had patched that, and all of a sudden it's back without warning, that's something that I don't get from Epic. But that's about it, man. I mean, like, you know, they have to fix what's broken first, and once they fix what's broken, then go ahead and, you know, release other content. But yeah, this is probably one of the only few things that I actually agree on.
There are also some things that I don't agree with that I've said in the past. I've altered my opinions. I used to think building was a problem in this game, and that it should be looked at. The building mechanics in this game are hurting it. I no longer agree that building should be adjusted. After seeing big streamers master building and properly demonstrate the skill gap that it offers, I quickly went to master it myself because I fell in love with the idea of Fortnite utilizing skill-based mechanics. Building used to be okay due to not many people building at the time. The game was still pretty new at the time that I had mastered building. This means when I get eliminations, I'm going to get more mats. When less people are building, they're stockpiling mats, they're not using them.
True.
I had more mats. I could utilize this skill gap as I see fit to potentially beat someone who might not be as good as I am. Fast forward 6 months, late season 3 to current, everyone's building. It's common knowledge at this point.
Of course, because you got to keep up, man.
Even the really bad players that don't even know how to build are attempting to build and utilize the skill gap. All this means is when you get eliminations...
Okay, coming back, what does that tell you? Everybody's building. What does that tell you about what he said earlier? Earlier he said that, you know, casual players, this and that all they care about is being in a lobby with their friends. Well, guess what? No, they don't, because they keep getting destroyed at the game. So what do? They practice their building, and so now you're complaining that they're building. But first you were saying that all they cared about is to be in a lobby playing with friends, no matter of mechanics, whether they liked it or not. And now you're saying that why are they building? You know, or they're building, you know, they're trying to build, whatever. See, it doesn't make any sense, man.
There are less mats being distributed every game. Less mats means less of an opportunity to utilize the skill gap. I'm pretty sure it goes without saying that
well, obviously
Fortnite
casual
just
players
needs
don't
more
only
materials.
care about being with their friends.
Blitz was a beautiful thing. Blitz V1, mind you. Blitz V2 was a flop. It went from like, what, 150% material gathering to only like 50%. Like, little things like this tell me that Epic doesn't like skill-based mechanics in their game because they're trying so hard to appeal to people that have literally never touched video games before.
Exactly. What am I saying? Of course, dude. Of course. It's all about business, man. And I think he mentions business in a couple minutes here. He mentions the fact that, you know, it's a business perspective, but let's see what he says.
In their lives. As made apparent by the most recent patches, Epic is doing everything they can to nerf the build shoddy meta, but they're being very subtle about it. They want to be careful because they're fully aware that full-blown reworks to the core gameplay mechanics will kill the game on the spot. My example of this?
Won't.
H1Z1.
No, it won't.
This is what happens when you abuse your core gameplay mechanics and constantly adjust it based on feedback. You never touch the core gameplay mechanics. And Epic isn't. They're fully aware that they shouldn't do that. But they're trying their best to nerf it in every other way they can. For example, changing llamas from 500 to 200, floor loot from 30 to 20.
Epic is aware of that, so they're going to bring the llamas back to 500. They're very well aware of that, so they know that the community doesn't like the llamas being nerfed, so they're bringing them back. So they're at least bringing that back.
20. They don't want you to build. They don't want you to utilize the only skill gap the game has to offer. But
that's not true. They do want you to utilize. They just want he's kind of right. They do want other players. They want to prevent the better players from getting more mats so that the players that aren't as experienced have a chance to, you know, outgunning them without mats or with more mats. But that's about it. That's about it there.
They're not going to change it. They're not going to change how it works, but they just don't want you doing it. Why? Because it makes it really hard on the new players to get in and enjoy themselves when they're being outplayed. Which sounds good for business. It's smart for business.
There he goes.
Getting more players into the game and enjoying it.
That's what it's about, man.
But how scummy is that? To slap your dedicated players in the face because they're too good at the game. This is why Epic was interested in adding skill-based matchmaking. They wanted to keep the new players away from the good players so they would stay and invest in their product. That's not how gaming is supposed to work. You're not good at something, you can't go into it expecting to be the best. If you do that with Fortnite and you quit because of that, that's your loss. You don't punish the players that took the time to get good at the game because the new players aren't able to compete with them. What you do is you add a training ground for the new players to get in and really learn the mechanics so they can compete with those that are way ahead of them. Or another approach that Epic has actually done, you could add limited time modes that keep the good players away from the bad players by not tracking stats and leaving the good players not interested in that mode. Do you see what I'm saying? Hopefully the point I'm trying to make is clear by now. At every turn, Epic is trying to base their game around incredibly casual players that don't really play very well.
Like I said, that's the whole point of this, man. The whole point of a game developer is to make money. So that's common sense, man. Come on. Come on. And we can all agree on that,
that's
chat.
Cool.
Or
Casual
guys,
players should be
we're not
taken into consideration. They should be able to enjoy the game and have fun with it. But why is it at the expense?
And everybody is enjoying the game, whether this guy wants to believe it or not. Everybody's enjoying. Why? Because it's the most popular game out there, and it's going to be the most popular game for a long time.
Expense of the players that are playing because they're good at the game. Another reason that Fortnite is beginning to struggle is because the community is pulling the game in so many different directions, and Epic listens to their community. Half of them want shotguns nerfed into the ground. The other half don't want them being touched.
Here's where he talks about shotguns.
I personally don't want them touched because, as you can probably tell by the first half of this video, I dislike things that involve luck rather than skill.
So here he starts saying, once again, he starts referring to the RNG. So he thinks that RNG is based on luck. You know, that Fortnite, the gameplay is based on luck. If it was based on luck, man, I guarantee I would not have 1,000+ wins. Or I guarantee the good players wouldn't have more than 1,000+ wins. The better players, you know, people that are better than me, people that are getting to my level, people that, you know, have just started playing the game. I guarantee if this game was based on luck, if the shooting mechanics were based on luck, people wouldn't have as many wins as they do. But guess what? They do have as many wins as they do because it's not based on luck. I just wanted to put that out there.
For example, literally any other close-range weapon in the game. The only reason I use and enjoy shotguns is because they're consistent.
Okay, so this man right here is going to claim that shotguns are consistent. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that this guy probably is a double pumper because he's on PC, as you guys can see. And PC, man, if you have a PC, man, the double pump is pretty much an automatic weapon. Now, he claims that the shotguns are consistent when in reality the whole console community, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other players, a lot of other streamers, a lot of other people that play on PC are complaining, and we even have memes now about the 9 damage. The reason why I dislike shotguns is because they're actually the most inconsistent weapons. Because shotguns have bloom. Shotguns, if any other weapon other than the snipers should not have bloom, is the shotguns, man. It's a close range weapon. First of all, the pump shouldn't even reach very, very far as the heavy, because the heavy kind of does reach. The pump does reach as far as a heavy, in my opinion. But anyways, it shouldn't do that. But before I go into that, the shotguns should not have weapon bloom, man. Come on, how is it that you're gonna have a square, you know, a square as a hit marker, or not as a hit marker, as a crosshair? And some shots are gonna shoot to the bottom. Some of them are gonna be the bullet spread is gonna be random in that crosshair. That is ridiculous, man. What that means is that if the middle of your crosshair is aiming right at the head, they may or may not all hit in the head. The pellets are random, and that is ridiculous. They're very inconsistent, man. If shotguns were very consistent, they'd be way more OP, man, than they are. So, Jed, I have to disagree with you there. Shotguns are actually the most inconsistent weapons in the game, man.
Even at point blank, SMGs have a chance to miss your target, and you can miss out on damage, and that adds up quickly.
That's not true.
Why would I, under any circumstance, use a bloom-based weapon when I can use a shotgun that's going to guarantee damage based on my aim?
Shotgun has bloom. This guy has no idea what he's talking about.
There really is no reason, and it's a shame that half of the community is trying to push this game into a bloom-based submachine gun or AR meta. It is disgusting.
Nobody wants submachine gun assault rifle meta. I don't know what this guy's talking about, boys.
Don't understand what they're doing to the game. The game will die if this game turns into an AR fight meta, where the luckier person wins. Is that...
This game will never become an AR meta because shotguns are in the game.
Really what you want? You would prefer a bloom-based meta that is based solely on luck and then skill over a build shoddy meta. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the shotgun is the most skill-demanding weapon in the game, but it's consistent.
It's not
the bullet
consistent.
goes where you tell it to go.
No, it doesn't.
And that's important to winning a fight. I don't like AR spamming. I don't like sub spamming. I don't like most of the weapon roster. The only guns I like are the pump shotgun and the scoped AR, because aim is the determining factor over luck. That's why I only play with those guns.
Okay, so I just want to point the hypocrisy out. He says, that's why I only play with those guns. Yet, if you see his gameplay, he's got a blue AR out. So this man is obviously not being consistent with what he's saying and what he's actually doing. You know, it's kind of the thing that, you know, you say is, hey, practice what you preach. This guy is saying that those are the only guns. Let me see.
Aim is the determining factor over luck. That's why I only play with those guns.
That's why I only play with those guns. Yet we see in his inventory right now, he's got a blue AR. Come on, man. If you're going to make a video about... If you're going to make a clickbait video and not even state one single fact of this game, statistical facts of why it's dying, like numbers, etc. If anything, the numbers are growing. If you're going to make a clickbait video, a clickbait title, at least practice what you preach, bro. Come on.
Shoddy build meta is not my preferred meta. If I had the choice to build this game from the ground up, I would make it AR focused, projectiles, bullet drop. I would make it similar to the sniper. Imagine shooting AR projectiles like the sniper. You got to lead your shots. You have to aim higher than the target if you want to hit them and they're far away. Like, that's how I would base this. I would basically make Fortnite preseason 3 H1Z1. Like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays PUBG too.
I know it's opinion, but I want to say it's just an objective statement.
That's not an objective statement. It is your opinion, bro.
Was the best BR to ever exist, period. Recoil patterns were super easy to learn for new players. It made the game easy to get into.
Recoil patterns were super easy to learn. Where is H1Z1 now, brother?
But the good players, the players that had been around for a while, they still had the advantage because of game knowledge. They knew the map. They knew the bullet drop. They knew how to seat swap. They knew how to drop shot. Like, it was all there. It was the perfect BR, and I would base Fortnite around that if I wanted to focus on skill-based mechanics.
And then you would kill the game. The game would die, brother.
While allowing casual players to also enjoy their time there, because the game is easy to learn. It's easy to get into. H1Z1 now, it's not easy to learn. It's not easy to get into. I guarantee you, if you've never played H1Z1 before and you download that and attempt to play it, you are going to get destroyed. That was a little bit of a tangent, but my closing statement is Epic, if you want to nerf the building meta, if you want to nerf the shoddy meta, add consistent skill-based mechanics elsewhere in the game. The game will not survive without building, and it will not survive without shotguns. Very specific.
Nobody's gonna remove shotguns. Nobody removed shotguns. When the double pump was nerfed to where you had to pump the actual, actually use a shotgun, how a shotgun is supposed to be used. No, yeah, everybody was complaining, but the game was much better, and it was the tactical shotgun had a purpose to be faster than the pump. And now that the heavy is the most powerful shotgun out there, it should be, because guess what? It's legendary and epic, whereas the pump is just rare. So, you know what I mean? This game is not going to lose its shotgun, and nobody should ever think that shotguns are going to get lost. If anything, they're going to introduce a fourth shotgun into the game.
Reason these two are used, and it's for those reasons. I'm sure you can come up with a player-friendly way that's not frustrating to die by, that can satisfy both crowds. Anyways, that's all I have. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.
But anyways, closing statements, man. Fortnite is not dying. Why is Fortnite not dying? Because it's, because Epic is doing everything right. He mentioned earlier that Epic listens to the community, and that is very big, man. If a game listens to its community, it's gonna flourish. Why? Because the community is who plays the game. So I just want to put that out there, guys. Fortnite is going nowhere. I know that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming. They're introducing a Battle Royale, because obviously Battle Royale is the place to be in the developer world right now, because it's very fun. It catches the attention of a lot of people. but I don't agree that Black Ops is going to kill Fortnite. Not even close, because guess what? Fortnite still has a ton of magic tricks down its sleeve. A lot of things coming, man. For example, I'm pretty sure that custom lobbies are going to come to Fortnite at around the time that Black Ops 4 comes out, because they're going to compete, because Epic is smart, because Epic has great people. Like I said, the only thing I don't agree with, obviously the double pump, and the fact that Fortnite has to fix their issues before moving forward with more content, with more additions, you know. Another thing that is very critical is the fact that they're adding new things. But I am okay with these new things as long as they don't change the main meta, which is, you know, ARs, pumps, potions, medkits, etc. You know, they added hop rocks, they added jetpacks, they added the stank bombs. They've been adding a lot of things, guys, but these things don't change the meta. And at the end of the day, the meta is, you know, build fights, which I don't agree with either way. You know, I don't agree that you should have to build a Leaning Tower of Pisa to destroy your opponent, but that's the meta right now. Pumps, you know, assault rifles, potions, medkits, etc. As long as that doesn't change, as long as those rarities don't change, I feel strongly that they can add whatever they want. You know, new ideas, better ideas. They should vault things when they become useless, kind of like the smoke bomb. And if they keep doing what they're doing, man, this game is going nowhere, guys. They're releasing it on Switch. It's already been released on Switch. They released it on mobile. Sony has to budge. I'm sure they will budge on cross-platform very, very soon, because Fortnite is so big. Once that happens, man, forget it. Fortnite is going nowhere, guys, and I just want to put that out there. But yeah, that's my opinion, guys. If you guys agree or disagree with me, leave your comments below. As always, I really enjoy feedback. I really enjoy doing things like these. And if there's any other video that you guys want me to react to, drop it in the comment section. If it becomes popular, if there's a lot of likes on that particular comment, I will look at it, I'll look at the video, and I'll react to it, and I'll do a genuine reaction, such as this one, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for your time. It really means a lot, guys. And as always, Soldier out.